Genesis dog, Genesis dog, Genesis dog, Genesis dog, Genesis dog, Genesis dog. What Nintendo cats? Hello, Woof, and welcome to the 38th Genesis Dogs rating. Today we'll be talking about Turrican. And in the dog category, 0 out of 10. There's no dogs. Sorry, no dogs here. So no points. Whoops. And the splash, also pretty basic. Had like show the guy with the gun and then zoop to the start menu, and it wasn't very much, but the demos was where it's at. The demos were pretty cool. There was a couple of them that showed off pretty late in the game as well. And some of the early game secrets and where to find some 1-ups and how to interact with the invisible blocks around the game. It was pretty cool. I liked how they did the demos. That's what bumped up the score from the 2. Music, 8 out of 10. It was also a pretty jamming soundtrack. I really enjoyed it. It got me jamming for the first few levels. Some of the other, like the flying stages, had really good music. One of the stages was just ambient wind noise, really kind of put chills down my spine a bit, and it kind of really did pretty well for the area, even though it wasn't really a song. But everything else was pretty good. I liked the music. The boss, 6 out of 10. I didn't like the bosses that much, but they were still here, like the giant fist, and it tries smashing you and stuff, like way too fast. That's kind of the thing about bosses. They just kind of exist and they will move all the way across the screen, and there's nothing you can do to dodge or avoid it. You can turn into a little ball form, but even some of the later bosses can hurt you while in ball form, so it doesn't really help all the time. And they'll just block man smash on you, and a lot of the bosses just kind of devolved into cowering in a corner and pelting them with every explosive you got. And it eventually works out. And the difficulty, 6 out of 10 on the hard side. It really came out swinging. I'd rate it with same as Tanzer, same as Target Earth. It's about in that kind of range. It was a hard game, but a lot of it was just kind of weird port issues where your health just kind of instantly melts away if you're existing in another sprite. There's no invincibility frames or anything. You just lose all of your health all at once, and it is a pain, and especially when everything is later stages, like zooping around from off screen and touching you and you explode. But it starts off really hard, then it kind of stays that way for most of the game. Even when it gets harder, you're just still kind of used to it. Most of what makes the game doable is there is a ton of lives everywhere in the game. Like if you get off exploring in the right spots, you can find like tons of lives. By the end of the 3rd level, on a good run, I could have up 18 lives that carried me through most of the rest of the game, which I then found more lives on the last 2 stages, which helped me push through the end of the game, which, yeah, they're pretty generous with their lives in the right spots, and they're usually just hidden pretty good. The experience, I still had a good time. 8 out of 10. Wasn't the greatest game. It's pretty stupid in some of the game decisions. I found a way to soft lock myself a couple times. Luckily, got an enemy close by to kill me when I out of that situation. But yeah, you also get hurt by the power-ups, which is pretty stupid. But over that, I think it's still a pretty good game. I think there's a good game here, but play the Amiga version. it fixes all the problems that I had, mostly. In total, 31 out of 60, about what it deserves. Right in the middle of things. Not great, not super, but it is alright. This is about what it gets. 31 out of 60. Yeah. So without further ado, here's the Wii U! I'm also excited because we're under 100 games for T left. Trampoline Terror, come on! What a yeah, baby! I've been wanting to play this game for a long time. And coming up next, Trampoline Terror. I've been looking forward to this one. It's like a, not really a platform, like a top-down platformer, like puzzle game. Gotta step on these little tiles to finish the stage, and it's pretty neat. The title screen is a bit extra. I don't know what's up with the fire or anything. It doesn't match the tone of any of the rest of the game, but we'll see how this goes. I love the soundtrack, and I'm looking forward to hearing it again tomorrow. So, yeah. The Wheel of Games, current letter is T, so everything on that wheel starts with the letter T. If you want to help support me, coffee.com/GenesisDogs, linked in the description. $1, and you can increase the size of any of these wedges, make it easier to land on, like Trampoline Terror was. $5, add any game that starts with the letter T to the game queue, and I'll play it next. And $10, any Sega Genesis game, any Sega Mega Drive game, goes straight to the game queue. You don't gotta spin for it, and I'll play it next. And game 40, this is the last chance. There's gonna be a big ol' spinning with all we got like 7 games lined up for this wheel. It's not too late. You can still put in the comments here what you need. I will put out like another little disclaimer, like not much time. I might finish Trampoline Terror tomorrow. You might have 1 or 2 days for this, so get your vote in. Yeah. And thanks for joining me today, and I'll woof y'alls later. Woof woof.